Today, I am going to show you exactly how Chris went from zero to starting in SMMA, getting to 2K a month, being stuck at 2K a month for an entire year, then joining my program and getting to 10K per month, all within a couple of months. Make sure you stick around for the entire interview. Chris drops some incredibly good insights.
You'll find that it actually is very easy. You just need to find something that works. So it's not just a factor of coming in and making some money. If you do it right, you will come out a much better person as well. That's my opinion.
That you need to know if you want to start an SMMA or you currently have one and you're looking to scale.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on. It's crazy to think how things have even came to this in the first place. As you said, it's only been a couple of months now. So I came to you roughly, I think it was around 1 to 2K per month. So had, I guess, somewhat of an idea, but not really, kind of just, winging it. To now we're, as you said, making nearly 10K a month, 6 figures a year. Sounds absolutely, crazy to say, but yeah, there's been so many different things that's got me to here. And I guess, we'll definitely talk about that.
Love it, man. Love it. So, Chris, when it comes to starting, like I mentioned, I think that's the best point for us to start, because going from, let's say, the 2K a month to close to 10K a month, that's one journey, but probably the most important journey is 0 to 1, 0 to 2. So when did you start? Why did you start? And really, what was that spark? Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, so good question. I think to take it way back to the very start, I went to Australia I just turned 18. I could have just been 17 still, which is really, really young. Completely on my own. I was meant to go with a friend. Things happen, people drop out, and I said, you know what, let's just do it. I always had an idea as to, I didn't want to work for someone else. Like, I always had that from a young age. And I went to Australia. I get into like a sales job. And I ended up just being the best salesperson in the office, surprisingly. Like, I got there, I done shit for the first 2 months. And something just clicked where, every week I was making the most money out of everyone. And it sort of resonated with me, the fact that I can ring someone and after 20 minutes, even cold calls, I was able to, get a payment of like £1,000 from them. But we were actually selling something that was valuable, right? It wasn't some bullshit. So that's when I sort of realized that, okay, I can speak to business owners and I can sell something as long as I know that it's valuable and it's going to give them something in return. That's when I sort of realized. So I came home from Australia, and one of the good friends that I had met over there told me that he had started a marketing agency. And that's when I started to sort of dive into it, started to sort of learn about it. And that's when I sort of realized that I could use the skills that I had from Australia to maybe sell something in value. So that's kind of how I started the agency, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, there's a lot of people we've worked with that have had a similar story of they've done sales and then they jump into this, right? Because sales is, I'm not going to say it's the only thing you need to be good at, but it's the thing that if you are good at, you have the most advantage. Yeah. Now, look, if you're watching this video, you don't need sales. Half of the people you see that we post winning didn't start with sales. It's just, if you do have sales, it's a massive advantage. But Chris, did you try anything else? Like, most people, when they get to SMMA or starting an agency, they've probably gone through, fucking 3 or 10 different things before they got there.
Yeah, like, I honestly need probably 10 drop shipping stores. I've done the crypto. I even started looking at HMO houses before I even had £1,000 in my bank. Like, I was just looking into absolutely everything. And you just end up going in a cycle, if anyone knows or anyone's doing this right now, which, if you're watching this, you probably have a good ambition to start something. You've probably looked into other things. And yeah, I find that you just go into a cycle of trying these different things all the time and you end up in the same position. So that's where I sort of found that, with the social media marketing or social media management, that it's actually something that you can sustain, something that you can actually grow on and somewhat expect what you're going to earn at the end of the month, right? Because that's the problem that I was having. I'm constantly in that loop of every week I was looking at something different. So absolutely, I went through that.
Yeah, for sure, man. We won't go into the full list. I think might be here a bit too long, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Solid, man. Chris, you brought up something that I just had to write down, like literally had to write it down. You mentioned specifically social media management.
Yeah.
Most people that do SMMA talk about Facebook ads. They talk about lead generation. They talk about, a service where you can guarantee this return, leads into your business, money into your business, easy to sell. Most students we work with don't do that, right? I didn't do it. You're not doing it. Give me your honest take on that.
Yeah. So I think, if you're just starting out, I mean, social media management, it's something where, right, you try to find out the problem of what a business owner has, right? Busy business owners, they have social media. They've more than likely not a lot of experience in it. They don't want to do it. It's time consuming. And for you to come in and do it, convenience-based service where you can simply tell the business owner, look, I can take this off your hands. I can post 2-3 times a week, whatever that is. That's going to save them time. That's going to let them focus on more important things in, their business. And ultimately, it's just going to be, a good working relationship. So I think starting out, it's definitely the best thing to do. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't, take a lot to, maybe take an image of what they've already sent you, get a scheduling tool or use a free tool and just simply schedule it with some captions, right? It doesn't take a lot of, time or... So yeah, I completely agree in the fact that I like the idea of going down the social media management route.
Yeah, I love that, man. Because I think there's a gap there. There's a massive gap where people are going out there, starting agencies. They have no experience, not done anything like this before. They're charging $3,000 a month. That's their minimum. Like that's their lowest package. And they're doing a service that they don't really know how to do. And yeah, okay, that could work. But like you're skipping a service that's just so easy to do.
Yeah.
Content, or as you said, Chris, your client might even give you content. You just want to. It's very, very simple. When you're starting, it needs to be simple. Chris, when it comes to outreach, I want to touch on this, okay? Currently in this space, we are seeing a lot of people say that outreach doesn't work, that getting clients through, whether it's Instagram, Upwork, email, is just gone. Like, used to work, doesn't work, it's dead, it's saturated. I think that's BS because we have people like you, Chris, that are proving us wrong every fucking week, where you're getting clients through Upwork, through Instagram, through these platforms. Why do you think people think it's saturated and dead when clearly it's not? It's probably just that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So first of all, confidence is going to give you confidence. I think that's one of the things as well, right? So if you've never swam before and you go in the ocean, you're going to be shit, right? You can either give up or you can, keep trying, do swimming lessons. It's sort of the same thing. People will try outreach for a week. I won't work and they'll say that it's saturated. It doesn't work. It's not the case. You just need to, I guess, fail multiple times, fail more times than someone else. And you'll, soon learn that, okay, yes, those specific messages might not have worked, but I'll find one that does work and then I can go a little bit heavier on that specific thing. So I have been in that situation where I thought outreach doesn't work. And I'm sure there's maybe people watching this thinking that it doesn't work. And again, it absolutely does work. Like, you just need to find the right message, and you'll soon realize that once you get that message right and you have a good system in place, you're getting, good leads, you'll find that it actually is very easy. You just need to find something that works. So yeah. Agreed, man. Agreed.
Chris, with the business right now, it's obviously not just you. You've got a team of other people in place, right? I want to touch on that because a lot of people, when they hear social media management, think it's not scalable, right? That's number one. They think you could maybe get to 3,000, 4,000 a month, and there's no way that you'll be able to scale. I think the reason people think that is they think it's a lower ticket service. For example, you sign a client for 500. So they assume you don't have enough money to pay for team members, editors, designers, etc. What kind of margins are you looking at the moment? And when you started, what were the margins? Probably higher, but I'd like to hear from you.
Honestly, man, yeah, our margins have always been pretty nice. Like, they've always been like, I think, like 80 to 90%, 90% mostly was to start with. Now it's obviously came down to, in around even 75 to 80 as we're growing a team, we're getting new people in. But our margins has always been extremely high. For what reason that is, I think it's not like we even tactically or we were meant to keep it at this certain range. It's just how it's played out. It's honestly just how it's played out. We were smart on what we done with our money and how we spent it, but yeah, it doesn't. You don't need to have margins any much lower than that, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree because there's some people we've worked with that have had the complete opposite mindset where they're doing less than you guys are doing, but they've got a 30% margin.
Mhm.
And it kind of blows my mind because like this is a cash flow business if you want it to be a cash flow business.
Yeah.
Also not be a cash flow business and be like almost as profitable as a drop shipping store, which is
Right.
crazy because you're delivering a service. It should be profitable. Like that's the beauty of this. So whatever you guys have done is clearly worked. And
For sure.
I want to dive into that, right? So Chris, who do you have on the team? Like what are some of those people? And what work then do you still do? Like are you still doing the same work that you did when you started, or has your role kind of shifted?
I'm at a period now where my role is slowly shifting. Yes, I'm still doing a lot of work. Like, and I've been up here for quite a few hours, but when I first started, I was doing absolutely everything, right? It was me, my business partner, Robbie. We were doing everything from the graphic design, the outreach, just everything you can possibly think of. Whereas now, we've built out a team. So we have 2 graphic designers, we have 2 video editors, we have an account manager, and we have an appointment setter. So it's really nice to even say that, to say that I have a small team. We're learning systems. We're really understanding the business model now, and that's it doesn't need to be complicated. When you say systems, it sounds a bit crazy, right? But there does come a stage where that's just what you need to do, right? And yeah, I'm at a stage now where I don't do any of the content. I'm slowly building out my account manager to come in more and more clients. I just wanted to throw him into, I think we have him on 3 clients at the minute, where he will schedule the content, he'll take the videos, he'll send it to my video or the video editor, he'll send anything to the graphic designer, he'll get that made, have it approved, have it scheduled. So it's going well. The system's working really well, and the plan is to just keep bringing him in more and more clients until the point where I can just look at it from an outside perspective, make sure everything's good, and yeah, go from there. That's sort of the vision where I want it to be.
Nice, nice man. And I really like the fact that you're not like you didn't just hire a client manager and just say, hey, here's all of our clients, figure it out, deal with them. Because a lot of people have that view of the agency space and they think very much sign a client, give it to your team, never speak to them again. It's not. Like you're still going to be in contact. And if you do that, you'll probably burn yourself straight away. Go back your road pretty fucking fast. Chris, your offer. Okay, I want to dive into offer. This is another thing we see where, again, typically somebody that's starting out, like you said, they do outreach. They send 50 messages, 100 messages. They don't get any clients. So they assume the service, the offer, that's the problem. Okay, so they read Alex Hormozzi's book. They build out a no-brainer offer, guarantee, all the good stuff that works.
Mm-hmm.
But for a beginner, seems to backfire, in my experience, more than it actually works. So in terms of your offer, Chris, what is that offer right now? Do you have a guarantee? Is it as simple as you pay X for content and social media? Or is there something that you're tying in that allows you guys to actually sell it?
My answer is going to be basic here. My offer is very simple, like really simple. Like it's usually, we try narrow it down, like social media management, we'll post 2 to 3 times per week. Well, we have slightly different things. So if you need your videos edited, we can do, carousels, we do images, we'll do some video edits. Usually that's 2 to 3 times per week. We'll schedule the posts, we'll write the captions. And yeah, honestly, that is how simple it really is. As we've scaled and as we've grown, we've, taken some time to actually learn some revenue-driven skills, right? So email marketing, we do some paid advertising as well because we've had the time to actually learn the skill and we haven't just started out with that. So once people are looking more lead generation side of things, the price does come up. But most of our clients, most of our payments now at this stage is at around the £700-800 per month mark, which is super, super nice.
Nice, man. So in dollars, that's probably like 900 to maybe 1,000, I would say.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Decent, man. Yeah, I like that. You guys had a niche, right? When you started, Chris, I remember gyms was the target when you guys first started with us. How has that changed? And what's the plan going forward? Are you going to stick with that or is it going to change much?
Yeah, so when we first started, we had the idea of gym owners. That's, we tried to figure out what our passion was, what we liked. And that's sort of what it just fell down to, after watching some YouTube videos and stuff like that. That's just what we went for in the start. We definitely worked with a good few gym owners. We enjoyed it. We know we can get good results for it. And and in the actual accelerator program, we got introduced to Upwork. And ever since we got on Upwork, we found that we were just landing clients, right? They weren't gym owners, but we were just landing clients. And that's what made us come to the realization of we actually enjoyed new challenges. Like we actually enjoyed learning about new businesses. And I'm not sure what the right answer or wrong answer is, whether you should niche down or whether you shouldn't. This is just the road that I've taken. And now we just have a variety of, multiple different clients. And as I said, we enjoy it. And yeah, now at this stage, like all of our clients come from Upwork. So do I plan on niching down? Probably, yes. I do want to do that. I do want to narrow it down eventually. But where I'm at right now, I'm at a good stage and I'm happy to continue scaling for another while until I'm at a position where I can put all of that aside and really dive into one specific thing. So that's my plan.
Nice, man. You mentioned Upwork. Again, a platform like most people would hear and be like, why the hell would you use Upwork to get clients?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Chris, you spoke with Ty, who's our student success manager in the program. He's had a ton of success with Upwork himself. And then you went out there, you figured it out, you cracked the very, when you explained to me your process for the first time, where you were using a little bit of ChatGPT and just the way you were doing things, I was very impressed. It was just like, fuck, that is genius. Because you're just taking what's clearly worked, using AI to just save you guys a shit ton of time. And now you can do what normally takes most people a very long time to send out a good proposal on Upwork, and you're doing it real fast. So if you want to touch on that, that'd be awesome, man. More so just on why you think Upwork works, because I think for most people, they have a mental block that Upwork is where you hire a freelancer and that's it.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say when I first started this whole thing, I remember always seeing any YouTube that I watched, it was always Upwork, right? And I always thought, nah, like it just doesn't work. Like I've logged in. I think initially it just seemed all complicated. You need to fill in all this information. And it just seems like something that you're up against too much competition, or you see these guys who has big marketing agencies and they're sending looms and you're never going to be able to compete with them. That's what was going through my head until I just dabbled into it. I learned about it through the program, and I just took time to actually understand who I'm up against and what I have to do to be at the forefront. So I put out a job post multiple times as a business owner looking for social media management, right? So I put out a job description and I pretty much looked at the proposals that people were sending me. And I soon realized that they aren't great. Like, surely I was thinking, right, okay, these just aren't good. Like, I can beat these. There was always maybe 2-3 good ones that I had to compete against. And yeah, just touching on the ChatGPT thing. So this has honestly been it's earned me so much money. It's crazy. So to give you a quick run through is I looked, and I hope none of my clients are watching this, by the way, but I looked at the job description. I pretty much made a set template on that I would use for Upwork anyway. And what I'd done is I pretty much put all that information into ChatGPT, told ChatGPT to learn my template, told ChatGPT that I was going to send them a job proposal from Upwork. I want you to change it to use my template, but to use it specifically for what their needs are, right? So I done that. And what I found is, first of all, the open rate was just insane. I was just getting responses all the time. So from just being able to do that, I was getting calls booked nearly every day. So then I had the final trick to the puzzle was to actually sell them on call. And yeah, it's just been such a big game changer for me. Like, I still use it now. And yeah, I think the most important part is actually getting a good template. It's not as easy as just fire it in ChatGPT. You do need to humanize it. So yeah, that's my trick.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Chris, how long have you had your longest client? How many months?
I've had a year. I've had a client over a year. It's a gym. It was like my second client that I got. So I've had them for a year. And yeah, I've got a few other clients that's coming up to the year as well. So retention's good. Retention is good.
Amazing, man. That is amazing. I heard a stat recently that I've seen thrown around by a few guys on YouTube, which is the average retention is about 3 months. 3 months.
Right.
Judging from like the number of clients you have, and as you mentioned, multiple now are getting up to that 1 year mark, I assume yours is more than 3 months. What are some things that you think, like, yeah, really just break down as to why you think a client has stayed with you for that full year? Because getting a client for, hey, Facebook ads, 2,000 a month, but you only keep them for 2 or 3 months, like you are missing out on so much money because you can't keep the client. Whereas you probably charged less than 2K, but you've kept the client for an entire year. You've probably done less work on a monthly basis for that client, and you're coming out with so much more money, but also just a happy client, which is, it's always fucking good, man. So
Yeah.
why do you think you've been able to do that, man?
Yeah, so the client that I've had for a year now, I want to note that he is one of my lower paying clients because it's when I first started. And I think he's based, maybe an hour and 30 minutes from me. I've actually traveled down once or twice to actually go to the gym and meet up with him. And that's not something you need to do, but I do think that that's built connection, and that's just, it's rolled over to more. In regards to, just other clients and retention techniques that, we're trying to do, because that's something that we are focusing heavily on. As you said, it's really important to keep them for longer. And I think just showing interest, having the option of, if they want to jump on a monthly call or every 2 weeks, whatever way your package is, and just showing interest and genuinely, have interest in trying to help them. And I think, yeah, just build an actual connection with them, trying your best to actually, deliver results. Because if you're landing and getting, 20 clients a month, but you're not delivering good results, it's not going to work out in the long run. So for me, I don't know, I just be myself and try connect with them and yeah, just try deliver as much as I can. And, that seems to be working for me.
Nice. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. Makes a lot of sense. There was something I wanted to dive into, Chris, which is why you chose to work with us. Because some people come to us they don't know what to do. Like they have no idea what to do. They buy our program just for the clear A to Z, this is what you do. Some people come, they know exactly what to do, how to do it. They just want help. They want coaching, mentoring, accountability. Why did you guys decide to join?
Yeah. So at the time of joining, was looking for, as I said, I sort of knew what I was doing, but I just needed someone to, hold my hand and say, this is sort of the route that you need. I knew once I had a direction that I would just dive deep into that, and I knew that I would become successful at it. I just didn't want to dive deep into something if I didn't know I was going in the right direction. So that was the biggest thing for me. And I think once you, enter into the program, you've got like all the information that you ever need. Like you don't need to go and look at another YouTube video. You don't need that, because everything you have in the program sets you up for success. Like if you actually follow the videos and you do everything, there's no reason why you can't get from A to B. And if you don't, if you're doing it consistently, let's say for 3 to 4 months, you're going to get places like you are if you stay consistent with it. So that was the biggest game changer for me, to be honest, was just having that there and just that direction. And I think another thing that I need to touch on is connecting with like-minded people. Like I think it's so game changing, just having people who's in the same position as you, looking to get where you want to be, and you can just bounce ideas. You can chat to them. Everyone in the group is so dead on. Everyone's happy to have a chat. You've got is it 3 calls a week you do?
3 calls.
3?
Yeah.
3 calls a week. So, I mean, you have options, right? You have options on days. You're not too busy. You can go on one of them. And even just sitting back and just listening to what other people have to say. Yeah, I don't know how many golden nuggets that I picked out of calls and just left and, started implementing them. So it's been game changing.
Solid, man. Solid. Yeah, it's good to hear. And for the person that's watching this, Chris, that, is probably thinking either I want to start, okay, like I haven't started, I want to start, or they've started and they haven't really got the results they're looking for. Maybe they have one client, two clients. They're in that no man's land. They probably see people like me, anybody that sells a program and thinks it's not going to work. You get some videos and they're really basic and that's it. Like your learning stops there and it's up to you to figure it out. What would you tell that person?
Start. Just start. Get into it. Look, if you're watching this, you obviously have ambition to, do something, whether it be social media management, and this is scalable. If you put your head down, you go through the program. As I said already, you will get places. You just need to stay consistent with it. If you're going to be someone who's going to come in for a week or two and then drop off, don't bother. But yeah, if you want to actually do it, come in and you'll 100% see results. I think it's amazing even just seeing everyone come in and getting the first 1K, 2K, and then from there slowly build it up. So there's not much more for me to say than like it's a no-brainer. It is just a no-brainer. Start.
You got to do it, man. Like you said, you have the ambition. If you're watching this, you just got to go and do it. That's for sure. Chris, for a lot of people, SMMA is a stepping stone. Myself, I started an agency 2019, sold my half of it coming into the end of last year. And will I start another agency? Maybe. But that might be my agency stint. For a lot of people, that is the case. They do it for a few years, and then they potentially pivot their agency to maybe consulting or a different form, or they just do something completely different. What are your thoughts? Do you think you're going to stick with it? Like, do you guys have a long-term vision for this for another couple of years? Yeah, where do you think you'll be?
Yeah, good question. I think stepping into this is going to lead to so many more opportunities. So more, like whenever you think about it, I was looking at my Calendly earlier, and I think I've spoke to like 150 business owners now on a Zoom call. That's 150 business owners who has started something, who may be successful. You get to pick things out of their brain. Like for an example, I was talking about a big client that I landed less than a month ago. I'm flying over to Florida now in 6 days, 5 days. He's paid for my flights, he's paid for my hotel. That in itself is an opportunity. I know that in 5 days, I'm going to go over and speak to a very successful person who's also going to connect me up with other successful people. And who knows what else can come out of that. Yes, you've got an agency you need to focus on, right? But in 1 or 2 years' time, I know that I have pretty solid connections where, if I want to start something else, I've got a bit of money now. I've got other people there. So to answer your question, I think it opens up unlimited amount of opportunities. Now, what I want to do in the next year or two, not fully sure yet, but I know that I will enter into other things 100%.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Even, the connections is one thing, the money is another. I think more importantly than that, it's the skills. Like I've tried other stuff, as you said, Chris, you've tried other stuff, crypto, dropshipping, all that. I've had little bits of success with a lot of things I've tried, but I've never had anything that lasted very long apart from that was the very first thing. And when I look back, it's not that it was just like the perfect time or whatever. It's the business. When you really put it down, sales, marketing, hiring people, building systems. If you have done those, what does every business need? It kind of needs a bit of all those. Yeah. So like you said, just the doors that open, the routes you could go down are endless. Whereas if you start a dropshipping store and you make $1 million, it's very different because that's a very specific skill set that's like very independent and can't be transferred as easily. So I think that's the beauty of this business. And I think it's why a lot of people are attracted to it. They know they can make money with it, but they also know they're going to learn real skills.
Yeah. You can use it for so many other things as well. And I think even like your habits, your daily habits, I find that whenever you start a new business, right, you're in that excitement stage, or whenever you start something new, you're in that stage where you're motivated, you're up for something, you're willing to learn. And I think from doing that and from taking small wins, you form good habits, which will then relate into other things in your life. It's not just like, I'm here to make money. Like, I feel like it correlates into other things. For me anyway, it's definitely, I've learned a lot of things, even about myself, just from starting this. So it's not just a factor of coming in and making some money. If you do it right, you will come out a much better person as well. That's my opinion.
I like that, man. I like that. We might change our program message, become a better person, huh?
Yeah.
All the man. Chris, where can people find you? Where are you posting right now?
Yes, so I have a personal brand. It's called It's Chris Steele. So ITS and then Chris CHRIS and then Steele is STEELE. That's my personal brand. And yeah, that's about it.
Nice, man. Is that Instagram, TikTok?
Instagram, yeah, Instagram.
Instagram. Nice, nice. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, check out Chris, drop him a follow. He's got some good videos. I've seen some of them already. Very impressed. Chris, appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thanks for having me, Adam.
So that's the story of how Chris went from 0 to 2K a month with his SMMA, getting completely stuck for an entire year, joining my program and getting to 10K a month in literally a few months. If you'd like to know more about what it's like to work one-on-one with me and my team, where we guarantee you results, just like Chris, you can find a link below this video in the description, book in a call with us, have a chat, and we'll see if you're a good fit.